Hello, and welcome back to the We Petersburg 2.0 program. This week, we will focus on emotions. Emotions are your reactions to the world around you, so they are a natural part of the human experience. We all feel different emotions at different times, and some are more comfortable than others. But we can think of emotions as pieces of information, so it is important that we pay attention to them, comfortable or not. But what do emotions have to do with small changes? According to research, emotional and psychological health work alongside things in our environment, like available resources, networks, and culture, to impact heart health. In fact, positive emotional and mental health are associated with lower blood pressure, better glucose control, less inflammation, and lower cholesterol, to name a few. We also know that there is a connection between how we feel, what we think, and what we do. So our emotions can influence our eating and activity behaviors. Sometimes they can affect our behavior in a way that makes it easier for us to reach our goals, while other times they can get us off track. For example, when we are feeling happy, we may feel energized and motivated to get our movement in. Or when we are feeling lonely, sad, worried, or bored, we may be motivated to turn to a source of comfort, like food. While this response feels good initially, in the long term it gets us further from our goal and may contribute to negative thoughts and feelings, creating a cycle. The good news is, once you recognize these connections, you can work to improve your mood and emotional reaction by changing your thoughts or behaviors. Now let's discuss how to recognize emotions. By becoming aware of our emotions, we can give ourselves space between feeling and acting to make a decision that works best for you. Start by becoming aware that you're experiencing an emotion and ask yourself the following. What feelings or sensations am I experiencing in my body? And where in my body is that experience? For example, you might feel it in your chest, throat, heart, stomach, or all over. And then ask yourself what thoughts accompany this experience that might indicate how I'm feeling. Then, choose an accurate name for the emotion. Try to avoid generic words like weird or blah, and try to expand your emotional vocabulary. Keep in mind that it's possible to feel several emotions simultaneously, and sometimes these might be conflicting emotions. Next, try to understand what sparked this emotion. While some emotions are activated by a single event, others may be the result of several experiences built up over time. Then, consider your reaction to the emotion or emotions you've identified. Even if it is an uncomfortable emotion, how can it be helpful? What is the emotion telling you, and how can you learn from it? Often, when we try to immediately reject or suppress an emotion, that emotion is strengthened and affects our behavior in potentially damaging ways. Then, decide how to proceed, or how you will use or manage and cope with the emotional experience. Now let's explore how to navigate our emotions while making small changes. To navigate emotions, we recommend trying mindfulness. To be mindful means that you have focused attention and an accepting attitude. By maintaining an open attitude, we can acknowledge our experience without judgment, which then frees up our mind to develop solutions or coping strategies. It can also help us tune into our bodies to help us differentiate if we are feeling physical hunger or emotional hunger. Physical hunger tends to come on gradually and can be postponed. It can be satisfied with any number of foods, and once you're full, you're likely to stop eating. And it doesn't typically cause feelings of guilt. Whereas emotional hunger feels sudden and urgent, causes very specific cravings, and you tend to eat more than you normally would. It may also cause feelings of guilt afterwards. If you identify that your hunger is stemming from an emotional need, try finding another way to feed this specific hunger. So if you're bored, try reading a book, going outside, listening to music or a podcast, or trying a new hobby or activity. If you're lonely, seek social interactions by calling a loved one, playing with a pet, or finding a local class or club to attend. And if you're happy and seeking to celebrate with food or alcohol, try to find other ways to channel your joy. You can spend time with friends, engage in a fun activity, or make your joy visible by decorating your environment or wearing a favorite outfit. And finally, you can put on upbeat music to dance to. Mindfulness can also help us surf the wave of emotions and cravings. You may have experienced that as cravings continue, their intensity builds, but this doesn't last forever. If you do nothing in response to a craving, it eventually crashes and subsides, just like a wave. Cravings can feel like they demand action, but this is not the case. Try to surf the urge wave by doing nothing as the craving ebbs and flows to see what happens. You can also navigate emotions by trying to talk back to your thoughts. As we mentioned, there is a connection between what we think, how we feel, and what we do. So certain types or patterns of thinking can trap us in a cycle of negativity. So if your thoughts sound something like, I didn't reach my exercise goal today. There's no way I'll be successful in reaching my health goal. Sure, I went on a walk today, but it was only for 10 minutes and it won't make any real difference. My sisters can eat anything they want and never have to worry about it. I shouldn't be eating French fries. I couldn't help not sticking to my alcohol goal. My friends kept offering me another drink. Then you may be experiencing unhelpful thoughts. Try to challenge your thoughts by examining the facts. Is there evidence to support your thoughts? And then try to restructure your thoughts to be helpful. You might do this by considering what you would say to a friend who is thinking or talking to themselves this way. Finally, to navigate emotions during small changes, try to develop a practice to promote positive mental health and mood. You might do this by trying to practice gratitude, which helps us train our brains to focus on the good in life. You can try this by keeping a gratitude journal and listing the things around you that bring you joy, or things about yourself that you appreciate, like your strengths, accomplishments, and positive qualities. You can also try engaging in self-affirmations and positive self-talk to reinforce feelings of self-worth and appreciation for yourself. You can play to your strengths by identifying what you're good at and seeking activities that allow you to embrace these strengths. And develop goals that help you move towards what you want, which can stimulate feelings of growth and accomplishment, instead of goals that focus on what you don't want to do. Finally, we encourage you to treat yourself with kindness and compassion, celebrating your progress and achievements along your journey. Self-compassion is crucial when dealing with challenges to our eating habits influenced by emotions. So practice self-compassion by showing kindness and understanding to yourself, particularly when you're experiencing dietary slip-ups or setbacks. By choosing self-compassion over self-criticism, we can foster a healthier relationship with food, learn from our setbacks, become more resilient, and promote overall well-being. Now let's explore how you can set yourself up for success this week. Try to pay attention to patterns, moods, and situations to figure out what activates your different eating habits, activity levels, and stress levels. And develop a plan for when you experience emotion-related cravings, which may also include choosing the foods that you're craving. Remember, all foods fit. It's about making mindful and intentional choices that are aligned with your values and goals. Then select one specific action or goal that you can commit to. For instance, when I notice that I am downplaying my efforts, I will try to talk back to my thoughts by recognizing how even small changes help me build a habit and get me closer to my goal. And try to remember that no emotion sticks around forever. They come and go. So while an emotion may feel distressing in the moment, sometimes just sitting with the emotion, accepting it, and recognizing that it will pass can help. And finally, when you experience emotions that make it difficult to stick with your small changes, practice self-compassion and speak kindly to yourself, just as you would a friend.